Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new week of This Is Us. We have, for the second time in This Is Us history, we have two guests. We have my friends, Ben and Palma from Seeking Derangements.
Hey guys,
friends. Hello.
Felix has us back on to launder his homophobia.
Yeah. Well, when we get to the second episode, absolutely.
Oh yes.
There's a lot that needs to be laundered.
If I say anything that comes across as homophobic, Felix texted it to me before we started recording and said, "Please say this."
It's all in the script, guys. It's all in the script.
No, I needed a surrogate for a lot of this. No, I did not. I did not really. I was more confused than anything watching this. What we watched, and this was this was I think Palma's idea to watch the new season, the new series of Queer Eye.
Yeah.
Yes. I hadn't watched it, but I knew it was bad because all the promos and stuff from Netflix looked like it looked like Gummo, you know, like it looked insane. So like, you know, it seemed perfect for this, but I think Ben had another better idea for another episode, which was the cop episode from season 1. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes.
The cop episode is really fucked.
It is psychotic.
Like,
it's insane.
Especially now you can see how just like completely tone deaf it is and how narrow of a scope the project of Queer Eye is. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes,
it immediately like backfires on itself.
They folded. They showed their hand like immediately with that show. Like it was very obviously capitalizing on, hey, like the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage. Like all the faggots can go off and marry. Now, why can't we have a show about how the gay guys are living nice, you know, married lives and nice home lives, and you know, all you disgusting straights are, you know, living in filth and it's disgusting shit.
It's that, but like one thing Tan France, that the name itself is
God
parody, but it's like Black China, like the Black China and Tan France, but it's like he said. In talking about the original show from the early 2000s, he said the original show was a fight for tolerance, and this one is a fight for acceptance, which, again, is like a completely stupid thing to say. Like, it doesn't...
Yeah.
That doesn't really line up, but I would much rather have, like, tolerance for gay people than acceptance. You know, it's like, I do not want to be accepted into, like, this kind of, like, bourgeois media sphere.
I don't want to be accepted into a company where... Or like a system where it is also just shitting on people regardless of, you know, or because of their privilege in life, their lack of.
Yeah, for not having the right classic attires, essentially.
Like, I don't want to join... For
not having, like, an exposed brick wall and a succulent...
But,
and like
not to be very gay about this sort of thing and get into theory, but by accepting, you know, that... Or being accepted into that system where, you know... If you like that, it means you've taken a side in that fight.
Yeah, that was the thing I picked up, was that the message, like, we're going to start with the cop episode, the message from that one seemed to be like, hey, we're all, look, some of us are gay, some of us are black, some of us are regular, but at the end of the day, we can all live in places that look like stores in Bushwick that sell $30 shirts. Like, that's what we should all be working towards.
It's like it's like that, but it's like your value as a human and like your respective culture only matters insofar as it can be like a retail, like a limited release, like retail booth at Target or whatever. You know, it's like that. That's it. That's the only way you can derive
the seasonal area at Banana Republic.
Yeah.
So this one, we're going to start with, this is an episode from season 1, Take It Don't. And it was just described to me by Palma as the cop episode.
Yes.
And I don't know what my mind scanned it as, but whatever I scanned it as and whatever I expected, it was a lot more than I initially expected. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's insane.
Holy shit.
It's literally like one step away from Jonathan Van Ness being like, oh, I love your armband. It's like so unique, but you know, if you just like twisted it a little bit, it's going to look more like the sign of a Hindu sun. And people are going to stop throwing milkshakes at you in public. It's like, it's literally like almost there.
Yeah.
So the guys, they find out about
the guys. The queer eyes.
I forgot they're called the Fab Five. So at one point in my notes, it said the gay guys. I just forgot what they were called. Like, I wasn't trying to be. I just didn't know.
Jonathan Van Ness is non-binary. Felix canceled.
Fucking God.
Yeah.
I am not going to get through this without being fucking yelled at. I am going to fuck up so bad on this one.
We will
just edit me out entirely out of this fucking episode. My bad.
We will catch you. We'll catch you when you fall. We'll call you in.
All right, thank you.
This will be this could be a secret episode of Seeking Derangements, and you get the pass.
But also,
I'm so fucked on this episode.
JVN does have they/him pronouns, so it's totally fine.
Okay. That's
all right. Okay.
I mean, JVN is sus for how he look or for how they look, but
this is we're really living up to the name. This is sus in this episode. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We finally found it. We found This Is Sus. Okay, bye guys.
Sus,
see you next time.
All right. So they find out about their target, Corey.
Their mission brief.
Yeah.
They have technically ascertained a fat guy from Georgia.
They've kinetically ascertained a fat guy because
they have a fat Georgian seeking missile.
Yeah. They're like, this guy's like, hey, I was in the Marines with this fat guy. Can you make him look good? And so this guy's thing is basically that he's a big fat epic party animal. Like he dresses up in outfits and throws like big stupid Southern parties.
He's a chive guy.
Yeah, he's like his thing is like he's the life of his like shitty town because he quotes Anchorman and they're like that's the funniest guy in town. But the thing like that was the thing that like threw me for a loop at the start of this is like they're like, oh, they're gonna expose like we're gonna have these gay guys like show him culture, but it's like this guy is known in town for having a party where like him and all his friends like have a dress up party that's like some of them like did drag in the interstitial and it's like I don't like it's like sort of like not totally heteronormative.
He and Mariah Carey do love the same fit. Just squeeze it, honey.
Is that a pineapple?
That is a grown man dressed as a pineapple.
But he's still a big fat party animal who like wears gym shorts everywhere. So they want him to like be an epic sir for his wife. He wants to do that.
He wants to wear the fedora and he wants to go to the classic car match or whatever and just do whatever there.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong here because I haven't seen this episode recently. But I think the way this opens is in the signature way the Queer Eye always opens, where they're all packed into this like massive like truck. And in this particular case, Karamo, the black Queer Eye, is driving. And the cop that they are queer-eyeing pulls them over, and Karamo ostensibly is not keyed into the bit, and so he's kind of like
not
sweating and like he's like really like doing these theatrics of being scared. But it's really clear that this was. I mean, it's a reality show. It's a reality show. This is a bit. Everyone knows what they're doing, but they're playing on like the inherent tension between like police and police murdering black people to like have a like cutesy moment here. It's just like
question is what we were pulled over for.
You mind stepping out of the vehicle for me?
No, you're not.
Why? Because I asked you to.
I don't want him to.
You're shooting a show, you said?
Yeah, it's called Queer Eye.
What kind of show is this?
We make over straight guys.
Makeover straight guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Is his name Corey? Because I'm his nominator.
No! You can't do that to me! You can't do that to brown people. I thought I was going back to Canada.
That was insane.
That was the director's choice.
Insane.
Yeah.
Imagine if
one of the most.
I know.
Hang on. They did tell somebody.
Like, oh my god.
They told what's his name? Bobby? Is that him?
Bobby,
the white guy.
Bobby is the
or not the white guy, but the blonde one.
That's Bobby. Bobby is the one who does the home makeovers, and every time he says something, he finishes each sentence with like a frown. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yes.
He frowns after every single one of his sentences.
He reminds me a lot of my old Buckle manager who was like incredibly closeted and did the exact same thing talked the exact same way and wore
Yeah.
the exact same style.
It's because Bobby fled a like hyper conservative like Christian upbringing, which he always brings up in the show. There's one episode where he refuses to enter a church.
Oh my god!
They have this whole moment with him, like in front of the church. He talks about like all the trauma it caused him, but I think they were querying like a pastor or something. He's like, I see that the church can be gay now, and so I'm ready to take my first step back into that world. And he goes in and like starts crying. It's like so funny. I love that they have like a signature like damaged like gay from Utah or something. Like that's actually pretty cool.
The blonde guy, he gave me like the most like fucked vibe out of anyone.
Oh, totally.
Like JVN gives me a fucked vibe because I saw them do this thing with the Brookings Institute where they were like, so we're talking to the head of Latin American regime change policy, and I was like, this is like on their
Say
podcast,
no more, fam.
and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like
I didn't know. I had to listen to that one.
We might have to do that for another episode because that was one of the most fucking.
Yeah.
I think I like blacked out for a day after seeing
What a
that.
god.
So
Yeah.
What a
funny.
pimp.
He
Was
so
laying pipe on stage with that.
Yeah.
Spitting facts about
I think-
El Salvador.
I think the most fucked one is probably Anthony because he has
Yes.
like meth gay vibes, where his eyes are just always like massive, like bulging out of his head, and he's always just like, yeah, he's like excited in the way that like only children or like GHB like meth gay guys are, you know?
Okay, Anthony. Here's what I noticed about Anthony. I wrote this down in my notes. Anthony's he's very like genetically blessed, like the muscle bellies and
He's
his
hot.
biceps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't not really that he's
Bimbo.
hot, but like he has like a very athletically blessed build.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys who puts on muscles incredibly easy, but he might have a dark triad personality. I'm not sure.
I think he's probably just been like ritually abused. I mean, he was an actor, and I think he I think he got into acting pretty young, and then
All right. Okay,
cashed-
no need to spell it out.
cashed out and became a restaurant owner and personal chef. So
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
We've
Say
seen
no
this
more.
story before.
yeah, pretty easy to see what happens there.
Yeah.
The actor to restaurant owner trauma pipeline.
Oh my god, yeah. Poor Anthony. Holy shit. So there is this queering opens with I don't know what to call. I'm sorry. I like don't know what the fuck to call.
Yeah, it is a queering. I'll give you
It is a
that.
I don't know. Isn't that what they're doing? Like they're like queering a guy? I don't know. dude.
Yeah, no,
They were,
it is
they
a-
were
it is a
queering
queering.
police brutality with that opening.
They were queering police
They were-
brutality. Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so they it opens with the most tone deaf reality show bit I've ever fucking seen. The fake pullover by Corey's friend, and then they have a big laugh and they go to Corey's house. Corey's basement is I know a lot of people are going to call me a hypocrite for this. It's disgusting. It looks like fucking shit. There's just like bullshit everywhere. It's just like the epic fat guy party zone. He's like, oh yeah, here's all the dresses me and my friends put on for the NASCAR party. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
Yeah.
And yeah. But the living room is like normal. It just looks like a normal house in the deep south.
Mhm.
And there's a very massive delineation where you can tell the basement is all Corey's and the living room is all his wife's. And we find out that he met his wife by slapping her ass at a club.
I did.
Yes. Pimp move. Pimp move.
I love whenever the Queer Eyes first kind of descend upon the subject, if you will, the subject's home, and they just run in and just like start flailing around and like twerking on the walls and like smelling the guy's underwear. It's like it feels like they're at like a zoo exhibit or something. It's so disrespectful
Yes.
of someone's space.
They look like
To like, hold
what?
up a cucumber and be like, this looks like my Friday night. Just being like heinous, heinous faggots in front of an entire family. I mean, Queer Eye is just, it really is just an experiment in how willing the average American family is to put up with just this insane amount of just condescension and just like having this harem of just like horrible gay guys around. How far you can push a family in exchange for a free house? Really?
I mean, you are violating some sort of amendment, right, of the Constitution by
this
bringing
is
those
Third
faggots in
Amendment.
that house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Felix, to use an analogy that you would know very well. Do you remember Ghetto Walks?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
of course.
the classic Twitter account Ghetto Walks, which was
Totally
a very
real.
obviously fake, like very, very real, totally and absolutely notarized real factual accounting of a guy that takes inner city school children to see the woods, and they like all talk about like, oh, what's a leaf? You know, like things like that. Like, oh, I can see the stars from here. That's weird.
Insane. It's like, you know that colonialist thing people say where it's like, did you know that the Aztecs didn't even know what boats were when they were being conquered? It's like that. It's like that, but done in like a shit. My dad. It was the most racist Twitter account I've ever seen, and I include like open Nazis because it would be like, I take inner city children on hikes. Duquan said, "Damn, what that be?" And he was pointing at a river, and it's like black children know what rivers are.
Yeah. No.
Like even if they grow, like even if people grow up in the inner city, not around nature,
they have
a
least seen
basic
pictures.
understanding. You
Come on.
fucking dunce. It was I think
Anyway.
that guy probably writes for like Modern Family or something.
Oh
now.
yes, he absolutely caught a check. He writes for TBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cashes that TBS midday show check. No, like this reads like that, like, but it's real. Like if you just showed me a clip of like the Fab Five like descending on someone's family like that, I would assume this was like some sort of skit for like, you know, Mad TV or something. Just like talking about, oh, like this shower cap looks nice. Oh God, I feel like, oh, you have
It's
a douche in your shower too,
like a Mad TV character that's like the gay guy. Like it's like the gay guy who is so like over the top gay. It's exactly that. It's a Mad TV idea.
I was so what you're talking about where they like just ransack the guy's home and are kind of setting. I was noticing
so rude.
when they went into his daughter's room that's painted green, and I think Anthony said it's the same shade of green as Midori liquor your father has in the basement. I was like, what the fuck?
That was out of fucking pocket.
That is so
God bless.
Dude, that girl's like 8. What the fuck, dude?
That is so funny.
Oh my god. Yeah. So like they do several minutes of this until Karamo finds a MAGA hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is like this show is so like during Obama. It's so pre-Trump because it's like like, well, what if a black guy got pulled over? Ha ha. Like we know, like we self-reflexively know that like black people get murdered by police, but it's like it's a funny, awkward situation. Oh, look at this Trump hat. He could never win, but it's like a silly thing to have.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it doesn't take it at all seriously, and when it does, it's just like don't do that. Okay, that's not okay. And move on. Nothing happened. There was no like growth in that department.
So they have a big laugh about like the MAGA hat, and then they find Corey's dead father's. He just keeps his dead father's shirts around, which is like, all right. I'm gonna try not to sound like too much of an asshole during this one, but like his shirts, like whatever, dude. There was a whole thing about how he just starts crying in front of them, talking about the shirts.
While Jonathan Van Ness is like smelling the pits of that shirt. Like, smells yummy. Someone's dad was a fox. Just like, oh.
Yeah. So their plan is they want to like sort of colonize the wife's living room. They want the wife's living room to be like the West Bank, where it's like, we want Corey to be more comfortable to hang out here, so we're going to merge, you know, your boring suburban, Southern housewife aesthetic with like just epic fat party dipshit. So they begin on their quest to like, make this guy an epic sir.
We're gonna put a Magusta fathead on your wall.
The first thing they put him through is Anthony taking him to like a farmer, like not a farmer's market, but like a boutique grocery shop, I would say. And he's teaching him how to make avocado and grapefruit salad. Like, there's the whole thing, Anthony showing him how to squeeze fruit.
Yeah.
He's like, Corey's like, my wife wants me to eat healthy, but there's just no time in between calls. And it's like, you are a police officer in a town of like 70.
Yeah, you don't.
You
Yeah,
have
like-
time, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
How many like
And I love that.
Karama
this
was
is
the only black guy that was going through the county. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, don't pretend.
But I love that that scene just like totally reinforces the idea that like probably most cops have, that just like, I don't eat fruits, those are gay. Like,
Yeah.
squeezing citrus is for women and gays.
No, that's exactly it. Because Anthony just goes squeezing every fruit he sees, and Corey's like, well, "What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing?
Is he allowed
with
to
that?"
do that?
Corey
Yeah.
is like, you can only tell when a watermelon is ripe by taking your gun out and unloading your clip into it. That's how you tell when a fruit is ripe.
Yeah.
There's a very weird rhythm to this scene because there's no like when you do a scene where you redesign something or like get somebody to wear something. There's like a beginning, middle, and end. But with this, it's just like imbecile looking at fruit. It's like he was taken from like he lived in he was on Sentinel Island. He was uncontacted, and then he saw grapefruit for the first time. And there's like not a whole lot you can do with that. So they buy the fruit. It's okay. But then he gets taken to Tan, and Tan is going to teach him how to dress like a Vice employee in 2014.
Yes. They go out and get Ruka button-down short sleeves. They go get pork pie hats. They go get 7-inch inseam shorts and chubbies. Hell yeah.
Tan's prescriptions are some of the funniest and like just utterly meaningless because it's like Queer Eye is just another example of how our culture just encourages you to internalize any problem you have. Like your house, it looks like shit or whatever. It's a moral failing of your own spirit or something. But like what Tan does is like just cuff your sleeve, babe. Just get a pair of like cropped trousers, and you will be a brilliant person. But
he is
also on top of that.
He's my favorite part of the show for that reason.
Imagine being a guy in rural Georgia who starts wearing a like pineapple printed button-up shirt with like cuff sleeves. You're liable to be beat up. Like you're gonna be bullied. You are making that guy a target by dressing him like a total fag. He's now gonna be like bullied.
Yeah, the outfits that they had him try on were like they had him try on like selvage jeans and a denim jacket and like a Fred Perry shirt. Yeah, Tan was being really polite, but he was basically saying, like, we're going to try to make you look less fat.
Yeah.
Which in the old show, they would have, the whole thing was just them being bitchy. It was funny. It had no, like, grand mission. It was just gay guys going in and, like, telling some straight guy, like, you're fat and I hate you. But in this one, it's like, you carry a little extra weight in your middle region, and a really good way of mediating that is unbuttoning a shirt at the top. Layers are your friend. It's just shit like this. Like it makes you want to scream and pound your head against the wall.
Yeah, no, it is like
they're doing HR for fashion, and for like redesigning your life.
Yeah,
daring you to think that you're a bad person because you're like this guy's just fat. But so. They're done finding the casual stuff. He's ready to write an article that's like, smoking K2 with Ukrainian rebels. That's how he looks now. So they have to go get him a suit. He's got to look like a fucking boss. And to show off like what a good suit looks like, they bring in this guy who just looks like Conor McGregor to demonstrate what a good suit looks like. And like all of them want to fuck him.
Yes.
Like they all think he's the hottest guy ever.
Yes.
It's just like a guy who goes to the gym twice a week and has like completely red skin for some reason, but they're basically like, thanks for showing us the suit. Can we suck your cock? You're so
totally.
Yeah, it's just like what?
Anytime they're
sexually harassing this dope.
I know. Anytime they're in a room with the subject or any man, really, it is just like all and out sexual assault. Where it's like, we want you look so fucking hot right now.
That was the first like 3 seasons when they were all when they were all in Atlanta. They all did that.
Let's fucking go right now. They start bringing out bottles of poppers and shit.
Yes.
Imagine being a straight guy who's never gotten any attention in your life, and then there's just 5 gay guys who are trying to fuck you. It would make you feel so disoriented.
So after that, yes, disorienting scene, we get. If that's disorienting, this is depersonalizing. Karamo and Corey have a long car ride back home, and it is insane. It's fucking insane. Like it's what happens during this. Karamo explains to Corey that like during the fake pullover stunt, he totally shut down, and like it's really scary as a black person to be around police, and that he like just at that point didn't want to talk to Corey when they came to his house. And he realizes that he's a good guy now because, like, they've seen him try on a suit. And
because he didn't go insane when he saw like the Polish guy just touch all the fruits in the aisle and like
he didn't produce his service weapon and airhole Anthony for mangling grapefruit. So so then Corey is like, well, you know, I completely know how you feel because I also get stereotyped. Like, you get stereotyped as a black guy, I get stereotyped as a cop.
Yes.
And Karamo is like, exactly.
Yes.
Karamo literally says, we're both dealing with the same pain.
It does go both ways, and I'm glad you feel that way. Black Lives Matter. They weren't able to be heard, and the police officers weren't able to be heard. If we could sit down and have a conversation like me and you just did, things would be a lot better, you know, in society. You know, everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to listen. That's it. So.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Wait, see, I didn't rewatch this episode. I didn't know that it was that just like up front. That is so insane.
I haven't rewatched it either, but I did see this when it came out, like the first, like when the entire series first came out.
We share the same pain.
That was such an insane moment, and I'm sure that like they had this talk like before this, and this was filmed apart, and like they didn't have anything to do with like after. Like it wasn't like an organic thing. It sounded like there was just a talking point that, okay, Karamo, you have to say we got to both sides this. Like this guy is going to go insane if you go like on about police brutality or whatever. Like just let it go. Like let it go, and you have like 5 seasons after this to like,
exactly. Yeah. They just dropped a Brinks truck in front of this fucking house.
Exactly.
I would probably do like I'm going to be honest. I really want a jet ski. I would probably do that.
Yeah, why not?
If there was like a show where I had to like meet an anti-Semitic guy and be like, I totally get it. Like we have the same pain.
Yeah,
we're brothers.
For like
We're brothers. We're brothers, man.
You know what? Yeah,
I love you.
I want to be queer-eyed for the free house. You know, and I think
Sure.
I'm a perfect subject. I mean, I'm unemployable. I live in a closet. I'm incredibly homophobic.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, please nominate me. I'd love to meet them in real life.
Oh, speaking of nominations, before we go any further about the cop thing, I did notice that the cops, it wasn't the actual Corey who, or the cop who stopped them. It was the guy who nominated.
Yeah. It was his friend.
Yeah, which is insane because it's like very obviously it sounded like it was just a prank that they'd done on each other, and like the guy didn't actually need a queerification. I mean, of course he did because Jesus Christ, look at him. But like they just didn't bargain for this actually being real. They're just talking to each other after work, like after beating up 5 black guys. Like we're gonna have the gay guys from Queer Eye come over to your house. Wouldn't that be really fucking funny?
They did get him. They did prank him.
Yes.
So like they just have a serious heart-to-heart in the car, Karamo and Corey, and they end it with like, police and black people, we both need to be heard. Everyone wants to talk, no one wants to listen, and then they shake hands. So we transition from that immediately into JVN making a scrub for Corey with Corey's family.
Seamless transition.
Totally, yes.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, the show just perfectly flattens everything. All difference, all like power exchanges or whatever. It's just like completely flattened.
Nothing matters.
Like nothing matters. Nothing matters.
Yeah,
at all.
the
T.
Yeah, no, wig.
She spilled.
Yeah, she spilled. So the blonde dark triad guy has redone his entire living room to be sort of modern. Like there's stuff that both like a Pinterest wife and an epic fat party husband could like. Like there's like modern couches, but also like a flag folded up in a frame. Yeah. So this is what I thought was weird is that as part of redoing the living room, they're like, oh, you know, all these pictures of your family that you just had in the basement and didn't hang up everywhere, we're finally hanging them up. And it's like, what the fuck? just kept those in storage?
You already saw them once. You don't need to see them again.
Yeah. So now it just looks like a store in Greenpoint. But now it's time for the fun part. Anthony's going to show him how to make that grapefruit salad and sangria.
Yes.
Yeah.
This part is fucking standing.
Anthony specializes in just stating pure facts as if they are like revelatory. He's like, this is an avocado, and avocados are a stone fruit, which means that they have a seed inside of them, and you just cut it and peel it, and then you can eat it. And it's like you're a fucking restaurant owner and a chef. It's like, that's it. And that proves that, I mean, the restaurant owner, the chef thing, take it out of Hollywood, baby. He doesn't know what he's doing. It was given to him.
Yeah. So, yeah, as part of the settlement.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So as if forever did something awful to him, they're like, fine, here's a restaurant.
Yeah. Some
awful studio head. So, he knows how to make the sangria now. He knows how to make the salad. It's time to put him in.
He's ready for his coworker cops to come over and call him a faggot.
Yeah.
Making sangria and avocado salad.
So they put him in a blazer, and he's completely red for some reason. Like redder than he's been on the show. I don't know. They're just fine with him being bright red. I mean, what can you do when you're
It's because
red?
It's becoming harder and harder for him to keep the homophobia in. He's like, I just have to do this for one more day, and I get the free
giving him
house.
rosacea. Yeah,
and he's just he's boiling like a crab.
So they do their goodbye thing. He cries, and he tells Karamo that riding in the car with him was one of the best moments of the trip.
Yeah, now I can refer back to that whenever he pulls over a black guy and gives me shit for smelling like weed.
It absolutely was the best moment for him. He got off scot free.
Yeah. They're like, you didn't do anything wrong ever, Corey. So as their closing gift, they gave him 4 tickets for him and his family to see Finding Neverland.
That is so fucked up, man.
So fucked.
That is the most fucked up part of the show.
Is Finding... Okay, maybe I'm way up. Is
Finding Neverland
that wasn't the Michael Jackson
No.
No.
It's a really strange choice. Wait, what is Finding Neverland? It's
Finding Neverland is like... It's like... You remember Wicked? The musical about the Wizard of Oz or whatever? It's like the inverse of that. So... Wizard of Oz is the fiction one, and Wicked is like the fake.
So they try to gain gay brainwash his family as
yes, but it's about Peter Pan.
Okay,
which is even more sus.
So
it's insane.
Yeah,
why?
It's not over yet because the Fab Five are having Corey's friends over at their loft to watch Corey over Skype make a salad and put on a suit.
Yes.
And they're all just they're all cheering for him. Like JVN's like, yes, you shave your face, Corey, and Corey's just as red as iron ore being struck.
Please do not acknowledge me. Do not speak to me. I'm here to collect my check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wife comes home, sees the new house, she bursts into tears because it's like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to, live in Williamsburg in 2015. So their final gift, Tan and the blonde guy, they made a quilt out of his dead dad's shirts, and that's a huge emotional moment. And mission accomplished. Corey's got the quilt. He looks like an evangelical pastor now.
So insane.
He can eat avocados whenever he wants. Mission accomplished. We did it, fam.
We did it, y'all. All they need is an aircraft carrier in San Diego, a massive, flag of the United States like banner to put on it, and a big mission accomplished. Written in cursive because they're gay.
That season in Curl's MT font. That season was in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
So there absolutely has to be a like very specific predatory like insurance policy for homes in Georgia that have been queer-eyed and are like on the verge of like being like ransacked or something. Like, do you remember
the structural cracks appearing in the foundation or whatever?
Do you remember that Extreme Home Makeover show? Like, a lot of those families just ended up going bankrupt and being kicked out of their homes because when you raise the property value on a place like that drastically, that quickly, like, your insurance goes through the roof. And, I mean, probably same thing is happening for a lot of these people, right? It's like when you win the lottery and you spend all the money or all your friends come over and, like...
I mean, they just redecorate. It's not a matter of, like putting down walls or whatever. But yes, I agree that there should be a listing of those houses, and they should all be burned down for fear of them becoming some sort of pilgrimage site for future faggots. Yeah, like overall, kind of a psychotic episode considering, number one, the amount of gay people involved in the making of the episode. Number two, the fact that it takes place in Georgia. And number three, the cop. Number four, like all the MAGA shit from before Trump became a thing. It's just insane.
Yeah, it is. It's a time capsule. I mean, the sex episode is not quite as fun. I mean, like, the outline I have on it is even, like, I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yes.
Can you guys just describe this episode, the Diana Munoz episode?
They skip over a lot. Like, you can tell that they had something in the story where
it's because the subject, the guy, his name is Marcos, he does not speak English very well. And so
we watched a different episode.
Wait, we watched a different episode?
Fuck it, yeah. Palma said the Mexican episode, and I looked up Queer Eye Mexican episode.
Oh, there's probably a couple.
All right, okay. You guys describe the one you saw.
So I watched one that is it is also pretty disorienting, Felix. The title of it is Father Knows Fish. Which
fuck, I almost watched that one. We were almost on the same page.
That one's really funny because it's the title, like Father Knows Best, but he's a fishmonger, so they just like throw that together. It's like actually your dad knows nothing but fish. It's very strange. But he's an immigrant from Mexico. He's a fishmonger in Philly, and his English isn't very good. So the episode is pretty disorienting because they have all of these very intentional cutaways, like they'll be having a conversation and Jonathan Van Ness or Karama will ask them something really deep and like plunging about like family trauma or something, and then it will cut to Marcos and he'll just be like, yes. Like, because like they actually did not have a conversation at all, and they're trying to scrap together. Like the few like English phrases Marcos can get out with a narrative that the production team is building. So it's a very strange episode as well. But yeah, it's called Father Knows Fish. They're in Philly for season 5. And so they go and queer eye this Mexican immigrant fishmonger, and so it opens
just like a regular guy who like doesn't look like he needs to be queer-eyed in particular.
No, doesn't really need the help at all. And it's because in season 5 they were queer-eyeing businesses.
Oh my god.
Okay,
or
I
not
see now.
business owners, I should say. They did
They
did like a gym. They did a fish market. And I think there were a couple others.
They all had Pell Grants and had been working more than 5 years in a community of color.
Yeah.
This is literally the Kamala Harris.
Totally. I was thinking like if like Warren had been elected, this would be her housing plan. Just like make the queer eyes go to every blighted community.
There would be, oh my god, like
Section 8 housing designed to look like the King of Prussia Mall. Hell yeah, sign me up.
That was like, man, I don't know what would have needed to happen for Warren to even win a single state, much less become president.
A lot more babies needed to be killed for that.
Yeah. If she did, it's like there would be like every like impoverished neighborhood would have a statue of Jonathan Van Ness that's illegal to like remove or to fake. It's like a federal felony to get rid of your JVN statue.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so this episode opens up. They're still in their signature massive like MAGA dad truck. They're all talking about their mission brief on Marcos. And they really, really hammer home the American dream in this episode. It's very much just like aspirational immigrant narrative. Marcos has I think he has 6 kids. Marcos has a running gag throughout the show where he is obsessed with Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, yes. This is like a signature thing that like a lot of Latino like middle-aged people kind of have, that especially those that grew up in Latin America and immigrated here, where they would like they have this affinity for America and this affinity for, yes, I love the ideals of the founding fathers, or they have like some other like super weird person they look up to, like not necessarily like a founding father, but like Abraham Lincoln, and like they only know like a couple of things about Abraham Lincoln.
It's because
like,
of the citizenship test.
Yeah,
I mean, when my dad had to take it, he knows who like 3 politicians are, and it's because of that. Like those are the only politicians he can think of.
Exactly.
But with Marcos, it's like he doesn't even he likes they ask
he
him
likes
about
the
Benjamin
idea
Franklin
of
a couple times,
Benjamin
and he's just
Franklin.
like, I like him because he's crazy. And people have been thinking he's crazy, and he did so many good things. It's like that. That's like it. Like,
yes,
it seems like something the production team is probably prompting him on, to be honest. But
it's also like plausible that that's just a thing that he does.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of immigrants do have, where they're just like, you know, they latch onto the teeth.
For this season, they had like an overall theme of like founding fathers because it's in Philly. And like one really funny thing they did when they were doing promo for this season was they had an advertisement that was all of the founding fathers on that little boat, that painting. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, across the Delaware. Yeah.
It was all of that. Again, another like pretty like just foot in your
guys,
mouth.
Guys,
like,
we're to queer all the slave owners.
Yeah.
We just finished queering police brutality. Now these guys are queering.
The fashion advice on this season is just handing out smallpox blankets to people. But okay, so they're going over their Marcos brief. He's a beautiful immigrant with a bunch of kids who owns a business, and he wants to open a restaurant.
Yes.
And so they descend on his fish market instead of his home. All of his family is there. They're overjoyed, screaming, very happy to have him there. There are many gritos. Max, can you grito? Do you know how?
No.
I can't.
No, but if you want to know what a grito is, listen to Linda Ronstadt's Canciones de mi Padre. She does a lot of them in that. It's my mom's favorite CD.
It's the signature Mexican laugh.
Yeah,
you've heard it in any song from Mexico. But there are a lot of those. One of the Queer Eyes does a grito, and it literally sounds like he's being hate crimed.
I think it's Bobby who says it. And he does sound like he's being Matthew Sheparded.
Yeah, it sounds like he's running down an alley. It's like chasing him with a crowbar or something. But so they check out the fish market. They talk to Marcos about his dream of opening a seafood restaurant. They then go to the family's home, which they don't make over, but they still go to see it. Yeah. And they do the whole thing again. They like they handle him like they start twerking all over everything. They talk about how they want to fuck all of the like inanimate like kitchen objects. And it's a pretty standard, just like Mexican American home. They're all like giant crucifixes and all of that.
There's an altar for sure.
There's an altar. My dad does this, and I know a lot of immigrants who does this. You have a hat hanging behind you on the wall right now. They love to hang hats on the walls, and also guitars that they never play.
I've never played. The strings have like it doesn't have any strings because they all snapped it like when they were moving or hanging it.
Yes,
or like cannibalized for some other purpose.
Of an immigrant home. Just things hanging.
I've never heard about the guitar thing.
Yeah,
totally.
It happens. It happens for sure. Totally. My grandfather in particular. Yeah,
it's because like every a lot of like men who immigrate to America from Central America or Mexico, they all are like, or some of them are like, I'm going there to work, but there's an underlying dream of just becoming like a cool like rock and roll guy. Like, that is like they wouldn't speak it because they're too proud, but like
they want to do Santana.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's you should be able to declare that like on immigration papers, like I'm coming
for
here
sure.
to be Santana.
You would free
And it's
so
like,
many people from like ice camps here by like just weeding out all the people who didn't who didn't want to do Santana in the state.
But half the time it's not even Santana. It's literally just like whatever American rock is exported there. It's like they want to be in like Creed or like the Strokes, like the Strokes even. The Strokes.
This
are
really
huge
is
in
the
Mexico.
evil. Actually, that kind of makes sense because
Yes.
Mexico.
No,
Mexicans
that actually
love
makes sense.
the Strokes. Same thing with like
Mexicans love the
Brazilians.
Strokes. I know a lot of people in El Salvador who love Interpol, like for no other reason other than like they play it on the radio still.
It's huge there. It's huge
Yeah.
there. Okay, so they go through the home. A motif of the episodes of this episode becomes fedora, which Marcos loves. Again, the only person who can really pull off a fedora without looking like just creep,
like an insane person,
is a 43-year-old Mexican guy.
Yeah.
The only person who
that
can
makes
wear a
sense.
fedora.
He pulls it off really well, by the way, to his credit.
Yeah,
even before the
rocks
makeover, he like looked like he was dripping.
Yeah. Well, they give him a makeover and they just make him look like Scarface. they give him like a safari hat and like big Hawaiian printed shirt and like linen pants. And they make him look like a drug lord.
Well, they make him look cool.
They talk about the hats, and Marco says, you know, guys in Mexico tip their hats to each other, and when I immigrated here, I didn't want to lose that tradition. And Anthony is so methed out and excited. He's just like, oh my God, so that's like your whole thing. It's like, yes, queen, your whole thing's being an immigrant. It's like, it's so funny. I love when they have, when you can see just how like craven and like how driven they are to just like cementing a narrative, you know, because they're actors. They don't care about the subjects. It's just like they are only there to just establish a narrative.
Yes, they're there to touch him and like sexually assault him.
That's what I noticed with the two episodes I watched was like with Corey, it's like the only narrative they could find was like, isn't it great how we could be friends with this guy who like ostensibly hates us? And that, like, because there wasn't any interesting tension in his life. It's just like, well, I'm kind of a fat guy, and my wife wants me to be like less disgusting. Whereas, like with Diana, the one I watched, she was this woman who had a kid when she was 16 and was trying to get more in touch with her,
I've seen that one.
But like she didn't speak Spanish, and it was like they were so happy during that one because they had like 8 narratives they could work around.
Yes. I remember that one. She's really cool. I actually identify
Diana,
with her.
I like
she was really
just
chill.
Like, it was just like they could have done a better job. That one's on the producers because I thought she was cool. It was just like the way that they structured it left a lot to be desired. Like it didn't really. Mm-hmm. They should have like I don't know.
She has like some community
She like
right?
wanted one of the few like NGOs that actually sounds like kind of nice. She just like wants to have a space where artists can work for free, and it's like when I heard like when she was like it started out she was like I work in Walmart corporate and I'm starting an NGO. I was like pig awful shit, and then like the more I got to see of her, I was like, you know what? She's like actually not that. No, she's like nice. Yeah.
There's an arc to it.
Yeah. Well, and I remember I think there's a bit there where they're doing her makeover and they're like, the chola look is a little.
Come on,
we're gonna make you
they
look
did
like
not
elevate the chola look. I think is what they did. They're gonna gentrify.
Yeah,
no.
They let her keep hoop earrings. That's what I remember. Yeah, they were like you have to use less hairspray, but we'll like literally it was use less hairspray, but keep the hoop earrings.
Not to be dramatic, but didn't they do the same thing with the encomienda system, like in the 1700s? Just like,
Yeah, they went in and made everyone stop tweezing their eyebrows.
That's like, dude, that's Pizarro was JVN of Peru. He was like, I love what you guys have going on here with the gold. It's so great.
He was wearing those gay fluffy pants and that neck frill and all that, and showing up to Inca and like taking people's quilts away, replacing them with smallpox ones.
Totally. I mean, that's literally.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me?
It's always like, oh, I was born in the wrong generation. JVN really was.
Yeah.
JVN would have been, he would have like made the term conquistador. He would have put like an S at the end of conquistador. He would have degendered the term conquistador. I mean conquistadores. But, oh my God, have you guys heard of this? Jonathan Van Ness is surrounded with dead animals. He has pets that just keep dying.
What?
Yeah.
Go on.
So he posted, like, this is like a year and a half ago maybe, but he posted this thing on Instagram where it was a selfie, and the next slide was a picture of this like kitten, and he was like, I forget what the cat's name was, but it was just like 7-paragraph like memorial for this cat, and it's like, I can't believe I lost Bubbles last night. I loved him so much. I'd had him for 3 weeks, and you know what? And he's very evasive about what actually happened, but you can kind of stitch together that
he
what happened
tried
was
shoving
Jonathan
it in his ass and killed the cat. All right, Richard Gere Museum ass motherfucker.
What he did was he left his window open and the cat crawled out.
Oh my God!
Eric Clapton, no.
And he tried to make a statement about this, but he was trying to like dance around the clear guilt. He didn't want to like, I left my window open and my kitten crawled out of it and fell to its death. But then like a week after that, it was the anniversary of 9/11, and Jonathan Van Ness did one of the coolest things anyone's ever done. Is he filmed himself doing yoga handstand on his roof. And again, it was like, anniversary of 9/11, y'all, here you go. And it was like his like pudgy little body like elevated in the air as if it were like a building or something. But what became clear from that is that he lives in like a high rise in Manhattan. And his cat probably fell like 50
Oh my God,
stories.
that poor cat got vaporized. Oh my God.
That cat is
R.I.P.
I was tweeting about that, and then when I got fired from the campaign, Jonathan Van Ness was talking about how toxic Bernie Bros are for making fun of him, you know, the AIDS thing, whatever. Way taken out of context, but he had a thread. It was taken out of context. He had a thread about the bullying he has received, and a few of them were screenshots of people saying that he murdered his cat. It's such a toxic environment. They're calling me a cat murderer.
I would avoid mentioning that if I were him. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Why bring
No
attention
reason
to
to.
that? You fucking dumbass.
Y'all, it's time for me to clear the air on how my cat died.
Yeah.
7-paragraph long
So-
medium post.
Yeah,
Zero
my
accountability.
stupid
I am living and
maid.
learning
No,
every day.
I think we've got.
Yeah. She's going back to Guatemala.
Yeah,
Fuck
my
that old
dumb
cow.
bitch maid left the
So
window.
I think we kind of like
Yeah.
got the idea about Queer Eye. We're gonna wrap this up soon, but like, who's your guys' like? Who do you like the most out of the guys on the show? Like, who the Fab Five do you like actually like? Because JVN, I'm getting the sense that
I'll be
JVN is like the
honest.
villain among people. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. JVN has done a lot of really heinous shit. Probably like one of the most kind of just like naked ambition, just like careerist thing he's ever done was when he did come out as gender non-binary. Again, he has like he them pronouns, so it's fine. I'm calling him. But when he came out, it was it was through an ad for a nail polish.
Wow.
Yes.
That's the first time that Jonathan Van Ness ever said anything about
What
being
a god.
genderqueer in public, and it was like it was an advertisement.
Well, he got paid for it, so
I
didn't get paid
know.
for coming out. Shit, I thought I should.
I know, I should have saved it.
Can you imagine making a complete industry out of coming out?
Yeah, well, I want to come out in a Subway ad and come out as non-binary queer in a Subway ad and be like, to celebrate me coming out as queer, Subway is making the foot-long 11.5 inches. They're queering the foot-long by making it smaller to support me in my journey. My favorite one's probably 10.
Yeah.
Just because
Ken is the most normal one.
He's the most normal one, and there was a video of them all shitting on Bernie, and Tan was the only one that came to his defense.
Yeah,
so.
well, Tan,
exactly.
Tan seems to... I can only describe his accent as European, but he's definitely, like, the only guy who probably, like, thinks of, like, healthcare as a human right. I feel for Anthony. Yeah. Anthony is very traumatized, but, like...
He's the
I can
most
fix
tragic.
him. I want to fix him.
You can fix him, Max, or fuck Anthony.
He's also Polish. Yeah.
Also Polish. Again, I can fix him.
All right. So for everyone who you've made the journey, you probably started listening to this podcast. You were just sitting on a pile of your dead shirts, you know, being a big fat party animal.
Yeah.
Now you made it all the way through the episode. You have a bunch of like modern ass couches. You have, like, you know, some dumb bullshit painted on your wall. You finally hung up pictures of your family. You're wearing a fedora now. Yeah.
You live in Pottery Barn.
Where can they complete the journey? Where can they find you guys?
Well,
Patreon and Apple. Seeking Derangements.
Google Seeking Derangements. If you really want to help us out, you could pay out for our Patreon. That's nice. We could also DM Molly Klein, a.k.a. Red Kahina. We really want her to come on the pod. Yes. Please DM her as many times as you want. And please, like, there's nothing I'd rather. I still don't
really know who this bitch is, but yeah,
she is my goddess. She is my queen. I can fix her, etc.
No, you're fixing everyone. You're queer-eyeing everyone.
I'm queering people. I'm queering people.
They love her.
Oh my god, the amount of bird carcasses they kick out of her